Yokozuna Takanohana finally looks as though his moment of truth has come. He started off this basho with 2 shaky wins, then took a loss on a day off, then managed 2 more shaky wins. Considering his long 8 basho layoff and knee injury, it has become clear that he is a shadow of his former self. A few more losses this basho and he will have to retire. Comes to all Yokozuna at some point, but Takanohana managed to convince the sumo elders that with time he would recover his old form and recover from his knee injury. They let him sit out for nearly a year and a half, but then got impatient and said to him, compete or retire. He managed a good return basho in the autumn with 12 wins, sat out the next one, that was the Kyushu basho in November, but could not avoid this one, the Hatsu basho. It would be a relief, no doubt, for the elders of sumo, the Toshiyori, the ruling council of the sumo kyokai, to see him go. Sumo needs to continually renew itself. At the start of day 6, we have Mongolian Asa Shoryu in the lead with 6 straight wins. And a step behind, Dejima, Takamisakari, Kotoryu and Kasugao with 5 wins and 1 loss. Well, it's a full house on this day, and we go to the first of our bouts of day 7 between Kobo and Kasuganishiki. Both of these men last fought in the Juryo division. It's the one below this one. Both men fairly lightweight, about 140 kilos apiece, but it's Kasuganishiki there who pushes Kobo out with oshidashi. Next out, Tochinonada, sometimes referred to as the Ozeki killer. Disposed of a lot of Ozeki in recent tournaments. Here fighting Jumonji. They've never met before in this Makuuchi division. A fairly even start there, both heads cracking into each other, slightly to the side. But it's Tochinonada who's got his right hand on, obviously going to go for the overarm throw if he can get it. No, he's pushing his stomach in, he's trying to move Jumonji back to the edge. Both men more or less in the center of the ring. There's an attempt at an overarm grip, but Tochinonada follows it up with a straightforward yorikiri, a force out over the edge. So that was third win for Tochinonada. Hasn't been doing so well in this tournament. It's got 4 losses already. And it was the 6th loss for Jumonji. Now Takamisakari, otherwise known as Kato-chan amongst the sumo fraternity, against Otsukasa. They've met once before and Takamisakari won that one. Well, that was a good start from Takamisakari. Locked in tight, spread his legs and hustled Otsukasa over the edge with yorikiri. That's 6th win for him, which is already 1 win better than the previous basho, where he only got 5 wins and 10 losses. It looked last time round as if he came up against the wall of the upper ranks, the so-called Joijin wall. Already in this basho, he's doing a lot better. Now, South Korean Kasugao, one of the increasing number of foreigners in sumo, here against Kotoryu. Kotoryu on the right does classic sumo. He's good at on the belt or pushing. He's got a wide mix of techniques. Not exactly a classical start there, though, from him with the hands. Pop one of the hands down very quickly. Well, it's Kasugao who's fighting back, but Kotoryu's closing him down and then tries that overarm throw, had his grip over the top of Kasugao's belt and knocked him down with the uwatenage, the overarm throw. 6th win for Kotoryu. Now we have lookalike, I should say Toki lookalike Takanotsuru against Shimotori. Takanotsuru 171 kilos, Shimotori some 30 kilos lighter. Takanotsuru's got 4 wins so far, so he's been doing rather well. And there he hustles them out. uses the stomach to drop Shimotori over the edge. Yorikiri win there for Takanotsuru. 5th win for him, having just come up from the Judo division in the previous basho. Wakanoyama from the Musashigawa stable. That's Musashi Maru's stable, although he's sitting out this basho, having had a wrist operation. Here against Akinoshima, they fought 14 times in the past. Akinoshima's won 10 of those 14. Akinoshima closes in hard, leads with a head, but Wakanoyama's fighting back hard, and he gets that pressure on the back of Akinoshima's head and forces him down to the ground. Slap down win, hatakikomi, although in fact it was more of a push down win. Wakanoyama takes the 3rd much needed win. Akinoshima gathers his 6th loss. Hokutoriki from the same stable as Kaiho against Gojoro from the Magaki stable. Hokutoriki very tight on the Shikiri-sen there, the starting line, almost over it. They cannot cross the line between the gap between the two, have to be on the line or back from it. Gojoro wins that one with oshidashi, straightforward push out against Hokutoriki. 4 wins for Gojoro, 4th loss for Hokutoriki. Well, this is a flashback. Takanohana there, flanked by various wrestlers. That's Konishiki watching the bout. Well, he's lost his sumo hairdo, of course, but he doesn't seem to have lost his size. Now on to the next bout. Kyokushuzan, the Mongolian, against Iwakiyama. Well, Iwakiyama's doing well. Last basho he had 10 wins. This basho he's got 3 wins. But he's a relative newcomer to this top division. There's a 4th win for him. So he seems to be getting stronger and stronger in his, this is 2nd Makuuchi basho. Learning to use his size. 170 kilos, looks heavier than that, but he's 170 according to the record book. Our little Kaiho against Tamanoshima. They fought 7 times in the past. Tamanoshima's won 4 of them, so it's fairly evens between the two. A little bit of a head banging start there, but Tamanoshima locks on tight, keeps Kaiho on the move, but he's good at the direction changes, is the smaller Rikishi. Almost does a sidestep there, but Tamanoshima locks onto him, keeps the pressure going. There's an underarm throw attempt by Kaiho, or Sukuinagi type technique. Well, there's a Uchigake inside leg hook attempt from Kaiho, but a little too far out on that one. Tamanoshima now powering in, moves him to the edge and squashes him down. So yoritaoshi, forced down, win for Tamanoshima. Well, Kaiho started well. He had 4 straight wins to start with. Now he's had 3 losses in a row. Oh, that's Takanohana at the back there. Now Kotonowaka against Tokitsuumi. These two have fought 7 times. Kotonowaka's won 5 of them. Kotonowaka with 2 wins only so far in this basho, so not doing so well. Tokitsuumi also the same, only 2 wins. Kotonowaka much the bigger of the two. But there's a lot of pushing and pulling and sidestepping there from Tokitsuumi, and he manages to drag down the big Kotonowaka. So a shtate dashinagi win there, an underarm pull and push down from Tokitsuumi. Now Toki against Wakanosato. These two have fought 11 times. Toki's won 6 of them, but the last 4 were won by Wakanosato. So is he going to keep this winning streak up? He's chasing Toki around the ring, despite the opening slaps. See the oshidashi there in the background coming out with the prize money envelope to hand to the gyoji. That's one of their functions. And Wakanosato crouches down in this sonkyo squat, as it's known, and receives the prize money with that hand chopping action over the referee's fan, on which the money is laid, or it's laid in, it's put inside an envelope. Tochinonada, Kyokutenho, they fought 11 times in the past. Tochinonada's won 8 of them. He's been doing rather well. He had 10 wins in the previous basho, so he's pretty much on form there. He takes his arms over the top. Typical Tochinonada style, looking for that kime hold. But it's Kyokutenho who's weathering the storm, and there's a Sotogake move from Tochinonada. Tries the outside leg hook and then tries to spin Kyokutenho over, but fails right on the edge there. Kyokutenho gets the referee's nod. So win there with yorikiri for the Mongolian Kyokutenho. Well, these two have fought 5 times in the past. Tosunomi's won 3 of those encounters, so it's fairly even. Konomitsuki doesn't really come very forward there, more or less receives Tosunomi's charge. And it's Tosunomi that kept the initiative going. Konishiki applauding that bout among the seats there. And Kotomitsuki pulled down with a hatakikomi, a slap down, and bites the dust. Takanohana now coming down the Hanamichi towards his place at the side of the ring. Full house banners up there. Well, win or lose, Takanohana certainly pulls them in. Takanohana will be fighting Dejima in a couple of bouts' time. Now we have Aminishiki, lightweight wrestler, under 124 kilos, not quite the lightest. Kaiho is the lightest. Kaiho, I should say. He's now fighting Aminishiki, some 45 kilos heavier, but he's a skillful wrestler, is Aminishiki. Couldn't quite make it. He was right on the edge there. Looked like he could spin out, turn around, and stay within the ring, but his foot went out as he spun round. Considerable weight difference here between these two, and it looked to me like Aminishiki hurt his elbow, though. Yes, there was that kotenagi type standing arm lock against his arm done by Musoyama. It'll be interesting to see whether that's going to force him to drop out. It's 171 kilos hanging on his single arm there. Now Mongolian Asashoryu, who's got 6 wins so far, here against Takanowaka. Takanowaka, one of the rising hopes, attracting a lot of attention from the Japanese over here. Chonofuji, who now heads the Kokonoe stable, said that the Asashoryu does the same style of sumo as himself. There are some similarities, in fact, especially with the power of the throws, and look at that, he just disposes of Takanowaka without too much trouble. Intercepted him, held his wrist, and then just spun him down with Makiotoshi. Let's watch that one again. He observes very closely as Takanowaka comes out. He's controlling the wrist there, and he's got his arm around the body, and he spins him down with a little bit of control from the arm. Extremely skillfully done. There's been quite a change of style from Asashoryu. Just a couple of bashos ago, he was more or less doing non-stop tsuppari attacks. That's slaps to the face and upper body. And then he changed abruptly to very classical sumo, and he's doing it extremely well. Now we have Takanohana against Dejima. Takanohana's got 4 wins. The last win he had, he sidestepped yesterday. That's when he fought Tosunomi, and that is not good Yokozuna style. A lot of criticism of him for that. These two have fought 16 times in the past, and Takanohana's won 13 of them. But he hasn't spent a lot of time in the dojo in the last year and a half or so. And Dejima's fast off the block. He's a skillful ex-collegiate champion. He's got a range of techniques. There's one fault is that he can be stopped in his tracks. He needs to keep his feet going as he charges out. But these ex-amateur champions tend to be more technical than the traditional ones that come in at the age of 15 in the stable. There's that fast start I was talking about, drives forward, and then he grabs Takanohana's leg and down he goes. So the grand champion takes another loss. Dejima there, winning comfortably, does it from the tachi-eye, drives him with his head, takes him straight back. There's the head, there's the drive, right to the edge. Look for the leg grab, there it is, and down goes Takanohana on his back, right on the edge, and dumped outside. 6th win for Dejima. He seems to be back on track. His previous basho was 10 wins and 5 losses. Well, what's going through the grand champion's head now? That's another loss against a man he would have beaten easily not so long ago. So at the end of day 7, we had Asa Shoryu in the lead with 7 straight wins, no losses, and behind him Dejima Kotoryu Takamisakari with 6 wins and 1 loss. Stay with us, we'll be back after the break.